Oh, wow. It's weird. It wouldn't even let me record in that cave of next episode.
I like how you cut it off, so the people not watching the episode, only listening, you were gonna piss them off by not showing us walking through. Did we walk through the cave, or did we waste 10 minutes and walk around it?
That's
You'll
true.
never know.
Or did we log out and then, like, dance around on other characters, log back in? Or did we make entirely new characters? We may have made entirely new characters and just ran here again.
It's too funny. I don't know what we were talking about, but it's a new
Oh, yeah, I
episode. So
don't either.
whatever.
I like how it's, like, literally, like, not even that long ago and we still forgot what we were talking about.
It was 10 minutes ago. We did a lot of character dancing.
Oh, yeah, we did. Or was it yesterday?
Uh,
Like, I can just look at my clock in the mini-map, too. Or is it tomorrow at that time?
oh yeah. Oh shoot, they can look at the clock. We're busted. You just gave us away. Now they're gonna know that we just.
Well, it just shows the time. This could be like a week from now.
Oh, dude. Yeah. We just somehow managed to sync it up with the time.
Exactly.
You should have just been changing your clock on your computer. Can't you change it to local time? You're gonna just change it so the clock shows your local time or something?
I don't know.
I don't know if you do it. I don't remember.
But, let's, oh yeah, I forgot to.
It was just been talking about Titan stuff.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about, let's talk about Stranglethorn Vale.
Wow, are we really running out of stuff to talk about? Maybe you should consider retiring from YouTube if you're already running out of
Maybe
things
I
to talk
should.
about.
Maybe
My
I should. I mainly just ran out of coffee.
Is there any game you're actually looking forward to? I find myself that I don't look forward to a lot of games anymore.
Well, that's what I was going to talk about. MMOs. I really don't. The thing with other MMOs, people are like WildStar and this and that. I'm like, I don't want to play another MMO because it's like it's time consuming and grindy and just like blah. It's like if I'm gonna play an MMO, it's gonna be WoW because I'm already like years invested into this game and I like the Warcraft universe and just the art style and everything. So I'd rather just play WoW. Plus, it's the most developed, like out of anything. Like new MMOs, they always have like fun starts. Then it kind of gets mediocre, and then they have no end game.
Yeah, that's the big problem. Is I don't understand how these companies keep making MMOs and they only focus on the leveling up curve, especially when the leveling up curve ends up just being a grind. Like my thing in MMOs is I want the grinding to be something you do on the side, not the actual core gameplay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind it if I'm like done my character and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grind for new boots. You know, that's something I do, and I watch a YouTube video like this. Okay, sure. It's like that Diablo style of gameplay.
Yeah.
But like when I play an MMO and it's like, oh my god, and you go through the same type of quests that WoW did. The reason why WoW was so cool was because there was never a game that had the type of quests that before it.
Yeah.
Like before it, what you did was just kill monsters. It's like, what do I do? Oh, I gotta kill like 100 monsters to the next level.
Yeah.
And then what do I do? Oh, I gotta kill 150 monsters to the next level. So it was cool when there was a quest thing. But now I go into MMOs and they have the damn quest thing again, and I'm just like, oh, I would rather just kill 150 monsters.
Yeah. It's like nobody's innovating. And you gotta change, you gotta do something that isn't just like, even Guild Wars 2, they're like, we innovated questing. It's like, no, you didn't.
Well, oh god, Guild Wars 2 is the biggest like circle jerk among the people like trying to tell me how good that game was. Like, oh, but public quest change everything. It's just a quest that I don't have to accept.
Yeah, that's really all it is.
I look at my map and there's a heart, and I go there and I do a quest for Billy who wants some grass, and he's just like, go fight grass monsters to get grass, and I do it until a bar is full. So I don't even know how many monsters I have to kill. I'm like, I guess I killed a monster and I got like 10% of a bar, so maybe 10 grass. Where the hell are we?
I don't know. I'm gonna run out of here.
God.
But yeah, that's really all it was. And then they're like, it impacts the environment, and it's like,
No, it didn't.
no, not really.
It-
Like, it impacts it so slightly that nobody even notices.
And then there was no end game.
Yeah.
And then like raiding, I don't even want to talk about a game like people. You look if you want to hate on heals and tanks, that's cool. You know what's worse when everyone's DPS and like you're just
Yeah, like
doing stuff.
They're like, everybody will be DPS, and it's like, wow, that was really a dumb decision. At least in my opinion. Some people like being healers and support and stuff like that. It's not like they find it boring.
If anything, I think like a lot of long-term WoW players eventually get to a point where they're like, no, actually, I kind of like healing or tank. Like they'll like something other than just pushing buttons to do damage. And probably like when you started playing, you played a damage thing. Like, you know, maybe you played a healer, but maybe you played a damage thing the longest time you did until eventually you got sick of it. And you're like, oh, I'd get easier groups if I was a tank or healer. And so one day you run and roll, and you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. I kind of like this. And everyone, I feel like everyone at some point almost has that epiphany. And maybe you don't like it more than DPS, but you just generally go, oh, this is kind of cool. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So just to remove that and be like, all you could do was damage, Guild Wars was just kind of like... And then the PvP wasn't like Guild Wars 1. Straight up, it wasn't.
Yeah.
Guild Wars 1, you got to go... You picked 8 skills on your bar, and yeah, there was a meta and whatever, and eventually everybody just used the same stuff anyway, but that's not the point. In Guild Wars 2, there wasn't that. It was like... People said it was all cool. Oh, you picked 2 different weapons, and it's just like, okay, so I picked 2 skills. 2 sets of skills.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's like I enjoyed Guild Wars 2, like leveling up for a while, and then I
like parkour puzzles because I just love parkour games. I was like, oh yeah, this is my gravy.
I like that too. I like their puzzles, and then I really like their profession system too, like cooking and that.
Oh, cooking was fun because it was like Discovery.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you could go look it up, but you didn't. Cause
I like spent forever just figuring out. I was like, if I take the apples, I can do this, and then I can make apple pie. And it's like, you did it. And I was like, yeah. It was so rewarding. I even told, I think it was Ghostcrawler. I told him, I was like, listen, are you gonna have professions like Guild Wars 2 cooking? And he was like, we'd like to focus on something like that. And then they did Pandaria cooking, and I was like, you need to make it like Guild Wars 2 cooking. But
WoW has a lot of things they can't change at this point.
Yeah.
Like they'd like to, and sometimes they do changes, and like the community just react. Like, look, I don't want to have the argument about what's the worst expansion pack, because to be honest, every time WoW has released an expansion pack, in my opinion, it's been better. I can't talk about Panda because I didn't regularly ever play it. I've played very little Pandaria, but up until every expansion, I can only say from my perspective, being like mostly raider focused, it's improved. Yeah, PvPers will have a different retrospect because they'll be like, oh, I miss the days of 2 warriors, 3 paladins in arena, and I was like, I get you, but I've only seen improvements. But people always tell me that they hated Cataclysm because of that difficulty jump from Wrath. And that always kind of makes me sad that people are just like, no, we don't want a sheep in 5-mans. We want to just steamroll it.
Yeah. It's like it just depends on the type of people running it. I think a lot of people wanted that Wrath style 5-mans because it's like it is more mindless. Like you can do that and like watch other stuff instead of paying it to, like you just want to run your 5-man and then be done with it, and then run another one.
That's weird, right? Because it's almost like there's 2 classifications of games these days. There's games that you actually have to pay attention to, and there's games where you're only half playing it and half watching part 6 or 7 of the Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre how people now want a game where you're only kind of paying attention.
Yeah. That is weird. I didn't even think about that.
Well, Minecraft's a lot like that.
Yeah.
You know, like when do you ever have to pay attention to that game? Like maybe you're doing like the feed the beast circuitry to build a nuclear reactor, but not a lot of people are doing that. Most people are digging blocks to put blocks in other places. It doesn't really require a lot of focus.
Yeah. And I think that's why Blizzard's trying to like balance it out now, where they're like we're going back to 20-man raids in this next expansion, and they're going to be doing like they do stuff for the people that want to raid and difficult and heroics and all that, and then for like casual people it's like here's LFR, and it's like doing dungeons is like, or doing this raid is like doing a dungeon.
Flex raiding, which is
Yeah.
like how many people you want to raid with? 16. There you go.
Yep.
Have fun.
But it's like that's what I thought back then. I was like, oh yeah, like that's definitely better hardcore. And then I got to Pandaria and I hit 90 and then I stopped playing. And then I tried LFR out and I was like, you know what? I'm actually having fun in LFR because I don't really want to like put in time and effort to like finding a guild and raiding and doing all that. I just want to like see the content and that's it. I don't care about gear even. I just want whatever.
Yeah.
And so it was just nice to be able to experience the lore and everything and not have to like go super hardcore with it.
And to be honest, it's better for the community. Regardless if you're like a hardcore raider or WoW or casual, if Blizzard gets the design content that appeases both, it means you get more for both. And that's
Yeah.
like I used to be really annoyed when they first started doing hard modes and normal modes where like you could just beat like the Lich King on normal because it kind of diluted when you beat it on hard mode because it's like, well, I've already seen this cutscene.
Yeah.
It's
I think that's
so
why they don't like it, a lot of people.
yeah, because it dilutes, like it doesn't have the same epicness because you're just killing the boss a second time. You're not really killing Deathwing. You're killing the hard mode version of
Yeah.
Death. But if you look at it from Blizzard's perspective, it's like, look, we can't design content for the 1%. I mean, because then they just go and they look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
They don't actually play the damn game.
Yeah.
So it makes sense, and it's just kind of something you kind of have to accept, because if they get to make content that's for casuals and the hardcore player base, then they get to make more content for both.
Yeah, and it's like you're not, if you're a hardcore raider or whatever, it's not like you're losing anything outside of that, like, diluted achievement, but you shouldn't care, because it's almost like you don't have to do that normal, easy one. Like, you
Well,
probably jump straight to the hard
you get
one.
to a point, if you've raided long enough, where you don't care about gear because your gear's been wiped so many times that you understand that gear is literally only a stepping stone to get more gear. Like,
Yeah.
you literally get to a point where you're like, why are you guys fighting over who gets this trinket? You're gonna replace it in 6 months. Shut up. Just
Yeah.
give it to Steve. It's the best upgrade as a guild.
Yeah,
Stop
Steve
it.
wins.
Just give it to Steve. Who cares? But,
It's true. That's why, like, honestly, I wouldn't even have experienced any of this, like, content if it wasn't for LFR, because I wouldn't have cared enough.
mhm.
So it's like, oh, I actually got to experience it.
How do you make
Otherwise,
me? You're making me want to play this game.
because I mean, it's nice being able to be like, oh, I want to do one wing of a raid. I mean, like, think of like Nax Ramus or something, where there's the 4 wings. You just be like, I want to do one wing tonight, and then you just queue up for LFR, and you get in, and you kind of just mindlessly do it, and you're like, oh, I got to experience all the boss fights and everything, and it wasn't too hard, but it was like you had to pay attention somewhat. And it was
This would be a
just like-
great single player game, by the way.
Yeah.
Imagine if they just made it so you could do. Imagine if all they, here's all they have to do is just make it so you can chug potions. There you go, single player. That's it.
Yep.
They just remove the potion cooldown, make them more affordable.
Well, I
Just
mean,
make
you
it
can-
so every time you craft potions, you craft 50 of them, and then you got World of Warcraft Diablo, and everyone just like, oh, this game is amazing.
I went back and did like all the old raids and stuff. Like
Mhm.
you can like solo those, so it's
Mhm.
almost like that's a single player thing in a way. It's kind of weird. It is kind of weird. It's because like you see these raids that like you concentrated so hard on, and you're like, oh man, we gotta get this boss down. This is crazy, and you go back and you just like one-shot it, and you're like, oh okay.
Hey, are there guards at the Goldshire Inn, or can we go there?
I don't know.
Let's go
I
try
mean-
and let's res up at the graveyard there and see if we can visit
Okay.
our fellow Alliance friends.
Okay.
We'll stick to the road though.
Yeah. Oh, and it's raining. Ghost rain.
Ghost Rain. That's the best kind.
That could be a cool like game. Ghost rain.
Ghost Rain.
Coming this fall.
It's weird though that people like that we actually play games though that are like those half paying attention games.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about that until right now.
I haven't either.
Like we now just play games where you're just like not like that's almost like what iPhones and iPads are. Like all these
Yeah.
like casual friendly games are like games that you play while you're on a train or at work or watching TV. That's what they're designed
Yeah.
for.
And it's like it almost feels so right because that's why you don't think about it because it just feels right and you're like, oh okay. Like you don't question it.
Do you think there's ever going to be an MMO that like World of Warcraft again?
No.
Yeah, I get that feeling
It would
too.
have to be an entire new like genre, or it'd have to be
like Minecraft or League of Legends.
yeah, it would have to be innovative. It would have to be something completely different, because that's what WoW did. Otherwise, you're just competing with WoW. It'd have to be something. It would have to be different enough that you don't think of WoW when playing it.
You know, if a company was see, I don't want to go into ripping on Minecraft, but it's just not done properly. If there was a company that actually just did Minecraft properly, I think it would be like a huge success. It'd be
They
like
could do, yeah, like a lot with Minecraft.
yeah, they just don't like. It's because it's kind of like an amateur title, and then the guy got rich, so he hired all his friends, and
Yeah.
it's not bad by any means. Don't get me wrong, it's a great game, but it's almost like
It has so much more.
The potential is so huge. It's kind of like Dota was, where it's just like this amazing game and everyone's playing it, and like something could come up that just explodes it like League of Legends did.
Yeah.
So.
It's like in Minecraft, I always thought that too when I was playing it. Like, there could be like PvP that's like extremely good if they like focused on it for a while with like a small team. Like, they could make some really good PvP in Minecraft, and then you have customizable PvP, like, very easily made because it's Minecraft. And you could like make bases, like put in structured ways to do that instead of having to like do it yourself, and like all like there's so much potential for so many things. And they're just kind of like, we made it so the sun sets faster.
Yeah, they're not very efficient with their patching team. And the other problem is like the modding community is like self-imploding. It's getting to a point. Minecraft will update and break stuff, and like certain mods won't update, and other people rely on those mods, and then they go and they all split off in their own separate communities, and
Yeah.
it could be so much more. Maybe one day.
One day. Somebody will probably just make a game that's better than Minecraft. Or more innovative.
I'm waiting for it, man. I want to play that game. It sounds awesome.
Like, what if they took Minecraft and made it more focused on like multiplayer?
I just imagine if Blizzard made a Minecraft. Oh,
oh my god, that's what Project Titan is.
Yeah, oh my god, if they made an MMO that was Minecraft, sign me the hell up. Holy smoke. Right? We've just discovered it's not even called Titan anymore. Didn't they like abandon Titan?
Yeah.
Do it completely.
They did. But that's what it has to be. It has, because that's what WoW did. WoW took the MMORPG genre and just kind of.
What's going on right here?
Probably a shaman doing a spell.
It's weird how you can see some things in ghost form.
Yeah.
Like, how is this coded that you can see some things in ghost forms and some things
They're
not?
just too lazy. He's like, nobody will ever see this.
Where's the graveyard? Isn't it right here? Yeah, here it is.
There it is.
We're just gonna immediately die.
Or
oh god, we gotta run to the road, by the way, because there's gonna be wolves.
Okay.
Okay. Oh no!
What?
No! What? What? What?
Why didn't it even put us in Moldor?
What?
Why are we in the Barrens?
What? What is this?
What?
What? Well, it looks like you have to find out what happens next on the next episode of
Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball